Welcome to the Veterinary Marketing Podcast, where it's all about helping your veterinary practice attract, engage, and retain clients. Broadcasting a new podcast every Monday from sunny Southern California, here's your host, Brandon Bashirs.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to episode number 174 and a half. My name is Brandon Bashirs. Thank you so much for listening to the Veterinary Marketing Podcast. Hope you're having a wonderful, amazing, fantastic, beautiful day. In today's episode, we're going to talk about something. It's more of a rant than a talk because I think this is super, super annoying. And if you're running any kind of Google ads, you're going to know this annoyance that you face. So, we're going to talk about Google ad reps. Should you listen to them? Is the advice that they give valuable enough to take up your time? And should you meet with them? Before we begin this episode, I do like to mention a few things. First, if you haven't done so already, be sure to join the Veterinary Marketing Nerds Facebook group. If you ever have any questions, comments, or need help with anything, please don't hesitate to reach out there. We actually just crossed 1,000 members. Very exciting. So join me and 1,000 other veterinary professionals who love digital marketing in that group. All right, let's jump into today's in-between episode topic. It's about Google ad reps. And let me tell you something, I manage a tremendous amount of ad accounts. Like right now, I think I have probably close to 56 or 57 ad accounts under my client centers that I manage. And that being the case, guess what? Every single one of those is assigned a different rep. And the reps like to give you calls, and usually they're from call centers from somewhere across the world. And I'm not saying that there aren't skilled digital marketers in other places across the world. The problem is that these people are trying to sell you ad space. So they're going to make recommendations based on selling you more ad space. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating because clients will get on the phone with these ad reps because they don't know any better. They're getting a call from Google directly. And Google people will say, hey, I just wanted to make sure that you know you're not doing these 7 best practices. Well, it turns out most of the time, best practices that Google puts out, not every time, but a lot of times, they're not beneficial to local businesses. Google Ads are wonderful because they are scalable. You have huge amounts of reach, but because of that, you're able to get a lot of traffic that is not relevant to your business. So I'm going to give you a few warning signs to dramatically avoid when you are talking to Google reps. And honestly, I don't think that it's worth the time. I've been saying to the Google reps that call me, because you get assigned a new one every 90 days, which is very frustrating. I think they have quotas to meet so that they make sure and manage and call. But I'm going to tell you quick stories about that really quick here. But they will say, okay, you need to change your attribution model across the board. We need to change the attribution model. They'll want you to test dynamic ad creation. They'll want you to change the optimization method. They'll want you to add additional broad match searches. And then they'll want you just to increase placements as well. And that includes display placements for search ads. All of these recommendations don't make sense if you're somebody who understands what you're doing, understands what phrases you're trying to target, and really ultimately understands what it is that you want. You are not somebody who has thousands of dollars per day to be spending in digital marketing. Probably you're not. Unless you're the CEO of a large veterinary practice, you're probably not spending that kind of budget. So you need to make sure you're spending it wisely. Don't follow those recommendations that they make blindly because they may not be best for you. There was a time, actually, just recently when I talked to somebody that was US-based for my client center rep. So they're higher up for sure. And they had more skill technically, but they'd actually never run ads as an agency, right? So they've been trained by Google. They've never run ads on their own. And they said, hey, you should really try these dynamic retargeting ads that are extremely profitable. We need to set the conversion action different from how you have it set. And we tested, and I said, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to follow the recommendations and see how it goes. And what ended up happening was on this campaign that we created, we had already had winners. We were satisfied with the results, but I wanted to see if we could get better results. So we ran the campaigns, and the cost per click on these ads was 2.5 times higher than the cost per click on the ads that I've created, tested, tried, and knew worked well. And so just please be careful when Google calls you. Just because they work at Google does not mean that they're a genius or that they know what it is to run ads. for a veterinary practice, because your practice is really, really unique in terms of who it is that you're trying to target, the hyper-local nature of the leads that you're going to be generating, the services that you're generating, and all of these things. It's very, very important that you understand what it is that you're doing, what is your target, and don't second guess yourself. If you're satisfied with the results and the quality clients that you're getting and things, don't necessarily need to listen to everybody who's going to be putting these kind of ideas. And specifically, Google calls you at least, I would say probably once a month to try to get you to do things. And don't forget, they're trying to sell ad space. So just a quick warning there and a little bit of a rant, because they've been really, really calling me a lot. So anyways, if Google's listening, stop calling. We're good. All right. Have a good day, everybody. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.